This video is created by Jagrat Creations for you. It is on Introduction of Partnership. Here I want to consider one sum, how the profit gets distributed amongst partners as agreed by them. Just observe the sum on the screen. Priyam and Devam are the partners sharing profits and losses in equal proportion. On 1/4/2016, their capital are rupees 40,000 and 20,000 respectively. On 1/4/2016, they withdrew rupees 20,000 and 10,000 respectively from the firm for their personal use. Priyam is to be given a remuneration of 400 per month. Devam is to be given commission at the rate of 5% on divisible profit. According to the agreement, interest on capital is to be allowed at the rate of 5% to the partners, and interest on drawing is to be charged at 10% per annum. Profit of the firm for the year ended on 31st of March 2017 is 44,800. Now these are the various terms and conditions that has been agreed by the partners for the purpose of distribution of profit. This distribution of profit is to be accounted for by preparing profit and loss appropriation account. So here I prepare profit and loss appropriation account, in which profit to be distributed will be credited to profit and loss appropriation account, and the distribution as agreed will be debited to the profit and loss appropriation account. The distributed profit will be transferred to the credit side of capital account of the partners. Now let me start by giving you first of all the steps for the purpose of solving the sum. So you are required to prepare profit and loss appropriation and capital account. So first step, prepare profit and loss appropriation account and capital account. Then next step, write the balance of profit to be distributed to the credit side of profit and loss appropriation account. Write the capital balance to the credit side of capital account before you start distribution of profit. So steps for the purpose of solving the sum. On the basis of above particulars, prepare profit and loss appropriation account, partners capital account. The steps to be followed. Write the balances. So you have to prepare first of all profit and loss appropriation account and capital account. First step, write the balances. So profit to be distributed will be credited first of all to the credit side of profit and loss appropriation account. So on the profit and loss appropriation account, on the credit side, write the balance of profit and loss account. The balance of profit and loss account is known as net profit. Net profit is required to be distributed. For distribution purpose, it is transferred or it is recorded on the credit side of profit and loss appropriation account. Second, these are the capital balances given to you, opening balance of capital. So capital account balances are to be recorded as opening balance in the capital account. Now how many adjustments or how many terms and conditions agreed by the partners is required to be considered for the purpose of preparing this profit and loss appropriation account. Now next step, step 2, identify the adjustment. The first adjustment, Priyam is to be given remuneration at the rate of rupees 400 per month. So first adjustment is of salary remuneration to Priyam. Next adjustment, allow interest on capital at the rate of 5%. So interest on capital will be allowed on the opening balance of capital account. Then interest on drawing is to be charged. Here the drawings are made at the beginning of the year, so whole year interest will be calculated. So third adjustment is of interest on drawing. Fourth is commission to be given at a percentage of divisible profit. So first of all you have to give the effect of these three adjustments. After that you will get the divisible profit. So fourth adjustment is to be considered is the commission to be paid to Devam. After that, whatever the profit is left will be distributed amongst partners in the equal proportion, because remaining profit is required to be distributed equally because partners have agreed so. Now for the purpose of solving this sum, I am also going to prepare calculations and working note for explanation. So these are the steps for the purpose of solving the sum. Now let me start. So here I prepare profit and loss appropriation account. This is the capital account, Priyam Devam, capital account, debit and credit. First write the balances. Net profit to be distributed is recorded on the credit side of profit and loss appropriation account. Capital balances are recorded to the credit side of capital account of Priyam and Devam, balance brought forward. After recording the balances, I will start with adjustments. First adjustment is of salary. Premium is to be given remuneration of 400 per month. What is the remuneration for 12 months? So 400 into 12, 4,800. So out of this profit of 44,800, 4,800 is paid, so it is deducted from profit, so debited to profit and loss appropriation account and credited to Priam's capital account. So profit to be given to Priam is debited to profit and loss appropriation account and credited to Priam's capital account. If I want to write down the journal entry, salary to Priam account debit to Priam capital account credit, profit and loss appropriation account debit to salary to Priam account. This is how journal entries could be recorded. Now, after this first adjustment is done, look at the second one. The second one, interest on capital. Interest on capital is to be paid on the opening balance of partners' capital account. If partners have introduced additional capital during the year, the interest on capital will be calculated on additional capital for the time during which the capital was applied in the business. So here there is no additional capital. So interest on capital will be calculated on the opening balance at the rate of 5%. So let me calculate interest on capital for Priam. 40,000 into 5%, 2,000. Interest on capital is a distribution of profits, so profit and loss appropriation account is to be debited and Priam's capital account is to be credited with 2,000. Calculate interest on capital for Divam. 20,000 into 5%, 1,000. Profit and loss appropriation account debit to Divam's capital account is to be credited for that. If you want to write down the journal entry for this, interest on capital is to be paid to partners. So interest on capital, account debit rupees 3,000 to Priam capital account to Divam capital account credit 2,000, 1,000. And this interest on capital will be debited to profit and loss appropriation account. So profit and loss appropriation account debit 3,000 to interest on capital account credit 3,000. This is how adjustment entries could be recorded. Next. Now partners have withdrawn 20,000 and 10,000 at the beginning of the year, so it is debited to the capital account. Here no fixed capital accounts are maintained and fluctuating capital separate current accounts are maintained. So only one capital account is there wherein all transactions relevant to the capital are recorded. So drawings is a withdrawal of funds by the partners. Owners are the receiver, debit the receiver. So drawings are debited to the partners' capital account. So drawings are debited. Interest on drawing is to be calculated at the rate of 10%. So 20,000 into 10% is the interest on drawing for Priam, 2,000. Interest on drawing is to be collected from the partners. See, funds are withdrawn by the partner. Partner is the receiver of funds on which partner pay interest. It is an income of the firm. So profit and loss appropriation account gets credited for interest on drawings. So 2,000 Priam's capital account debit to profit and loss appropriation account credit. Same way, calculate interest on drawing for Divam. 10,000 into 10%, 1,000. This is also interest on drawing, interest amount withdrawn by Divam. Interest is to be charged for that. So Divam has to pay that interest. It is an income of the partnership firm. So it is credited to profit and loss appropriation account. So Divam capital account debit to profit and loss appropriation account credit. So this is how interest on drawings is being credited to profit and loss appropriation account. Now if you want to write down the entry, Priam capital account debit 2,000, Divam capital account debit 1,000 to interest on drawings account credit 3,000, interest on drawing being income to be appropriated amongst partners, so it is credited to the partners' it is credited to profit and loss appropriation account. So interest on drawings account debit to profit and loss appropriation account credit 3,000. This is how adjustment entries to be recorded. Now next adjustment, commission to Divam. He is to be paid commission on the basis of divisible profit. So what is the profit available for division after giving the effect of this adjustment? So after giving the effect of this adjustment, whatever the profit is left is known as profit available now for division. So it is known as divisible profit. So commission is to be paid at the rate of 5% on divisible profit. So total of credits at 47,800 minus 7,800, 40,000 is a divisible profit. And commission is to be paid at 5% on 40,000. So 2,000 commission is to be paid. Commission is also one type of appropriation of funds. So Divam's capital account is to be credited for this commission and profit and loss appropriation account gets debited for this commission. Now commission at the rate of 5% on divisible profit is also one mode of appropriation of profit, and that profit is appropriated. So appropriation account is debited, partner's capital account has been credited for that. If you want to write down the entry, commission to Divam account debit to Divam capital account credit, profit and loss appropriation account debit to commission to Divam account credit. Now, divisible profit available for distribution, how much? 40,000 minus 2,000. 38,000 profit available for distribution. This profit is distributed equally by the partners. So each partner, there are two partners. 38,000 is to be distributed equally. So each partner will get 19,000. So share of Priyam, 38,000 into 1/2, 19,000. Share of Divam, 38,000 into 1/2, 19,000. So 19, 38,000 is the profit distributed. Profit and loss appropriation account gets closed by distribution of this profit, and partner's capital account is credited for this 19,000. Priyam's capital account credit 19,000. Divam's capital account credit 19,000. This is how profit and loss appropriation account gets closed by distribution of total profit as agreed by the partners in the partnership deed. Now I am required to strike the capital balance. So total of credit side 40 plus 4,800 plus 2,000 plus 19,000, 65,800. From that you are required to deduct 22,000. This is the closing capital balance that becomes opening capital balance in the next year. Divam's capital account credit total 42,000 minus 11,000, 31,000. This becomes opening balance in the next year on 1st of April 2017. Balance brought forward 43,800 and 31,000. This is how I have prepared partner's capital account and profit and loss appropriation account, wherein my intention was to explain how the profit is distributed amongst partners as agreed by them and how it is being accounted for. I have tried to explain you this sum. I feel that you have followed all these things. Thanks to you.